My name is Dontavius Schuler. I'm from Cairo, Georgia, small town at the Georgia-Florida line, and I'm a filmmaker. Man, when I originally wrote Echoes, man, we were just trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to prove to myself that I can write a project and bring it to fruition. And then it became, I'm trying to prove to myself that me and my friends can produce this project and bring it to fruition. Then it became, damn, we doing this shit. It's done, it's edited. What we gonna do with it? You know what I mean? And Echo was just supposed to be a one thing. It was just supposed to be, you know, this woman that has been through a lot of things, and she meets this guy who is not of her familiarity of life. You know, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? Anytime if you look back at Echoes and you notice even on the main title, like the good guy she was with is in green and the ex she was with is in red. That was just our way of kind of like using color to like symbolic entitlement to stuff. So anytime you seen Jim, who played Dimitri in a scene, it was some green in the background or some green somewhere around. And anytime you seen Dada that played Ant, it was some red around him. Where it was a red light from a car passing by, or red shirt, red shoe. It was always some red around him to show like this is the red flag, right? And it was just supposed to be this story about this woman that you know, she falls back into what's familiar to her because it's comfortable, even if it's not good for her. And then the way we ended it, so many people was like, yo, it was a good turnout. People was liking it. They was like, well, you can't just end it like this. Like, what happened, right? And so even the crew and the cast, it was like, yo, man, we're gonna do a part two, And I was like, all right. So I just started trying to write a part two. So now I'm on YouTube more. I'm asking more people that write questions, and I'm learning a little bit more, right? So we get two, and we write two, we shoot two, and then we kind of leave you the same way. It's like, all right, and at that point I realized like, nah, this is kind of like a stage thing. Like, I can write three and close this thing off and really tell a full arc of all of these characters and where they've been, and the fact that no one is who they are by chance. You know, the way you grow up, the people you meet, the things that you encounter, your experiences in life all shape and mold you into who you become at the point somebody meets you. And it's gonna keep molding you, right, as you grow, right? Until that mold kind of holds. Once you get in like, you know, your late 40s and stuff like that, your early 50s, that mold is kind of, it's clay at that point. It ain't really moving too much. But you kind of get, you know, for lack of a better term, man, you're not a product of your environment, but you definitely get a lot of your influences and perceptions from that. And how people show up is a reflection of that, whether they done dealt with it or not. But in most cases, when you haven't dealt with it, like those childhood things that you thought you forgot, the body remembers it, and it shows up in your adult relationships. And so what I wanted to do with Echoes more than anything was make people stop and take a look at themselves and at their friends in their circle and ask themselves, like, am I a Sydney? Do I know a Sydney? Am I a Dimitri? Do I know a Dimitri? And am I an Ant? You know what I mean? Like, am I going through life carrying these burdens of things that I should have been dealt with for the sake of just not wanting to deal with it? Because if you are one of those people, and if you're not, you probably know somebody that is, at some point it's gonna come up. You might have put it out of your mind, you might be able to compartmentalize it mentally, but physically your body remembers things, and you might smell something, you might see something, you might feel something that triggers that emotion or that lashing or that blackout for you. And before that happens, man, you should, you know, check in with yourself and see if that's something that you need to work on before you get into a relationship with somebody else and affect their life, right? Be responsible.